Hello, this is a look at the LEGO Dragster Transporter set, which obviously includes not only a Dragster Transporter, but a Dragster to transport. The race car looks pretty sleek and pretty aggressive. Very, very small wheels and tires on the front, large diameter and wide tires on the back. Big ol' engine is a V6 and it uses some of those newer macaroni pieces in gunmetal gray. You know, the level of detail I think for this engine area is fine for a city set. And they've got flames coming out of the exhaust. That makes sense. Of course, it's got the seat. I think the seat is a little bit high. I wish they'd gotten that down lower. Also, the whole thing has a little bit of forward rake, so there's more ground clearance in the back than there is at the front. I think they could have lowered that down just a little bit. I very much like the wing struts. Probably my favorite thing on this build is how they look. They just look good. They look nice and solid and appropriate. Very aggressive angle on the wing as well. And you could change that a little bit because it's actually on a hinge on the back. So if you want to feather that out a little bit, you can for more top speed. The driving compartment just has a steering wheel and nothing else. And again, just from the side, see, it's fairly upright. The trailer here is really simple. They tried to get it as low as they could with very small diameter wheels and tires. In the back, it has a couple of ramps that can come down. They're pretty smooth because they're rounded off. You can drive the dragster up there, including the front wheels. I didn't think the front wheels would actually make contact at first, but they do just perfectly fine. And then, you know, you'll lose some contact there for a little bit because of the angle of the thing and how long it is. But I think this works out just fine because you get it on there, hold itself in place with the ramps at the back. The wheelie bar sticks out just a little bit back here. Not that big of a deal. A couple of tools are included here and a fuel can for you. The semi-rig that pulls everything along tries to have some uniqueness with the use of some relatively recent parts like the plate that's used here. It's a 2x6 plate that's rounded off in the corners. They've also used one of those up above for a bit of a visor there. And this has very nice striping. I like the use of the orangish yellow or yellowish orange color to get that stripe just there in the middle. It doesn't continue through the door, but that really doesn't bug me. I guess I wish the door was a little bit taller because this is pretty open here on the side. But you know, the color scheme here is nice. The overall proportions are definitely nice. It's pretty smooth, slick, sleek, and modern looking. I think that this would go well in many different scenarios. And yeah, I think definitely the color scheme is what gets me the most about this. Nice shaping too, but mostly the colors work out well. Very simplified back here in the back. You know, no attempt at any airline connections or anything, and just the most basic of fifth wheels. The driving compartment is pretty nice because it does have an offset seat, so it's not completely centered, and includes the all-important coffee mug. So this definitely gets a thumbs up for the coffee mug. Here are the two minifigures, and I'm very pleased that they created just one gender-neutral torso to use for both of these, because they look different enough between the two by just changing out the color of the legs. And this way, if somebody who gets this wants to make both of the figures male, they can just change out the head on one of them. If they want to make both of the figures female, they can just change out the head on one of them. There's no need for anything gender specific for these torso prints, and for most torso prints, I think it just makes it so much better for everybody when you can just use whatever parts on these configurable and buildable toys that you want, wherever and however you choose. They also do not make the decision for you of which of these is going to be the driver. They just include a helmet, and you can put the helmet on whichever one you choose. Also a good thing, and I like that print for that made-up gear company logo. Last up, they include this small Christmas tree assembly, which is one of the better ones that they've done, in my opinion. I think it's well scaled. The lights make more sense than they usually do in LEGO sets, and it's a good use of a small number of additional pieces. Yes, I very much like the build and design of the semi-rig in this set, but I think my favorite thing here is just the color scheme and the iconography and the typography used for this gear team racing that they've come up with. I want to see this used more. You know, maybe it can end up being a major competitor to octane racing. I think that this is something that can last for multiple seasons. I really feel like LEGO can do better than this for a dragster though, especially the driving compartment section. I want to see that person down lower, and I want to see it a little bit more sleek around the sides. Right now they kind of chop in from the 4 wide to the 2 wide pretty quickly, and I feel like that could have been extended, or should have been extended out farther than that, maybe with some studs on the side construction. Also, I would have much preferred some smaller wheels and larger, higher profile tires. Overall, a pretty cool set though, and in spite of my issues with the design of the dragster, I do feel like it's one of the better designed ones that they have done of that type of vehicle. But that's it for my thoughts, and now as always, it is your turn to share what you think. Leave a comment down below for myself and the other viewers to see. And if you want to see more videos from me like this, be sure to keep coming back to my channel on a regular basis, because more content is always on the way. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.